Alrighty, so this kind of assumes you have some familiarization with basic medical and the rifleman stuff. Sorry, Napoleon. We'll get to that later. This has a pass and fail, but so either do good or you don't get it. The medic is critically important at any level of platoon organization. Blah blah blah. Anyway, understand your worth as a medic is more than the rifle you get. Right. Alright, we're going to start with some theory and what I expect from you I'll be able to do. So you're concerned first and foremost with the welfare of squad members. While you do carry a gun, nowhere near as powerful as the skill you have as a healer. Anyway, medics leave the fighting to the infantry. Instead you're focused on patching up wounded and getting them back into the fight. And you should only really fire your weapon in self-defense, or in defense of the wounded. So you're going to stay slightly removed from the front line, usually with the section lead. This gives you a view of the bulk of the section disposition and helps to prevent tunnel vision by staying off of the front line. Anyway, the medic is able to maneuver to different fire teams more easily this way, without drawing the same kind of fire as a frontline player. Anyway, you are looking out for the section leader and provide rear and flank security when you're not acting in a medical capacity. Section leaders usually preoccupied with commanding fire teams, leaving them less time to watch their own back and flanks. You feel that gap, and you're not actually actively patching people up. Anyway, and you have to be comfortable with using smoke judiciously here. Conceal the wounded. Anyway, you carry a bunch, and so that you can rush out and drag them to safety. Actually, you probably get someone else to drag them to safety. You're way more valuable than anyone else, short of leadership. So don't be afraid to say, hey, you, go grab that guy. In this sense, you're going to be acting as... You're going to be looking after, like, the immediate welfare. Just getting them stable. You know, deciding which person's worth more and blah blah blah. Anyway, knowing where to throw these smokes is good skill for you to develop. Especially while wind is a factor, and in such a way that you're not blocking your defense's field of view, so to speak. You know, without interrupting everyone else's capacity to shoot at shit. In that case, you're going to be keeping track of wind. Hit Shift K, gotta know which way the wind's blowing. And the color of it determines how strong the wind is. I have the wind blowing my right, so I'm going to chuck a smoke over here.
It's 240. Roughly.
And we'll see that it's blowing to my right.
Situation.
In a defensive situation, like you're holding a position, take the initiative and set up an aid station. That means marking your location on the map and side channel, that anyone injured knows where to go, rather than you having to risk your life going out on the front line. It also keeps as many guns as possible facing where they're supposed to be. So this, we come down to the nitty-gritty of triage. This can be a grey area, but there's a lot of black and white I want you to adhere to. It becomes more grey in an actual medic sense, but you as a ground pounder, it's a bit more black and white. So you need to be able to rapidly diagnose casualties and pick out the ones that need the most urgent attention. Find those who are heavily damaged, such as those that are unconscious, or otherwise ineffective, and prioritise their treatment. People who are lightly wounded or in pain can wait, the urgent ones cannot. A good rule of thumb, who wants to volunteer as tribute?
Okay.
So an unconscious person... Gonna fucking die. There we go. You'll note, he's still holding his gun. He can move around. That is unconscious. You know the difference between that? There we go. Notice that his gun is out of his hands, and you can access his inventory. That is a good sign to tell if he's dead and worth even looking at. Get used to telling the difference between that. Now we're going to get into the actual treatment part. So, step 1, secure the patient/area. That's the first thing you do. You don't want to be running out to triage some dude and while you're getting shot. So that is, yes, the danger. Alright. What's step 2? Call the goddamn medic. Say you've secured the area and the medic's on his way. What next?
check response.
Yes, you check
to
the
see if
response.
he's
Check if he has a
actually
heart
alive.
rate. If he doesn't have a heart rate, he's dead. Or
He needs CPR.
he needs CPR.
He's
But-
in cardiac arrest.
This is the grey area here. If the medic's far away, you're still getting, and if it's, you got the patient safe, but you're still getting shot at, sometimes you just gotta hope the medic gets there in time, but prioritize your safety. At that point, so, you know, get back to getting back at them. Otherwise, if it is safe, immediately start CPR and call for help to start bandaging. If you think he's savable, or the situation's savable, CPR immediately. You do that by interacting on the chest. Once you do CPR, a blue line will appear up just like everyone else. You have to keep repeating the action to do CPR. And they'll give them some time. Anyway, so you've checked he's savable and he's got a heart rate. Step 4.
Stop the bleeding.
Yep.
Tourniquets
And as a
and
rubber,
bandages.
with quick clots and tourniquets. Let's say he's bleeding from multiple limbs or places.
Can you give him something to stop the bleeding?
Yeah, you tourniquet the limbs, and
Yes,
then
you
you can.
tourniquet. Or tourniquet. If multiple limbs are bleeding, or one is bleeding with multiple wounds, you tourniquet it. Not a waste, you can get your tourniquet back, but it just gives you time to bandage. That slows.
Loss of blood.
Yes.
Right.
In fact, if it's a arm or a leg or whatever, you can't. Well, you can only do that. If you're bleeding in the head and the leg, you can't tourniquet your head, obviously. So you quickly tourniquet the leg, bandage the head.
Right.
You also
Right.
can't check for blood pressure and heart rate through
No.
a tourniquet limb. So just keep that in mind. You also can't give fluid through a tourniquet limb. Right, once he's stable, this isn't really relevant. Keep in mind of what you've done to him. I'm going to tell the medic.
If you've given him any
Anyway,
drugs,
if you
please
can
tell the
and if you
medic
have
as well.
time, you can just mark the triage card if there's more than one casualty. Just say, yep, this guy's more critical than the other, if you're not there to guide the medic. That's only if you have time.
Yeah, definitely tell the medic if you've given them any fluids or injections.
Don't be giving them morphine. Don't be giving them morphine or epinephrine. You can't tell how shit blood pressure is. You give them morphine or epinephrine with a low blood pressure, you will give them a heart attack. Or make them brain dead.
Yep.
They'll go pop. So, save your morphine and stuff for yourself. And you know how fucked up you are.
Okay, guys, give us status
Work
score.
out.
Who's alive? Who's alive?
I'm alive, but I have a severe head wound.
There you go.
I'm gonna start on this guy.
Wow.
Buddy,
Alright.
are you a player in this, or are you?
Oh, I'm observing.
It hurts in my right arm.
Bleeding right arm. Righto.
Fuck's up with his head. Look at Bento's head.
Right arm.
He's no,
I'll
I
just
have no heart
tourniquet
rate
you
on
for
this
now.
guy. As
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna start
Betty.
CPR. As
Bandage your right arm if you can, mate.
Over there.
As up, this guy.
Yeah, I'm coming.
No heart rate. I'm trying CPR.
Righto.
That's a dead guy from the DC'd plays.
It is.
I got someone who's got a lot of bleeding in left leg, torso, and head.
No, he's dead.
Tourniqueting this guy's left leg, torso, and head. I'm putting tourniquet on his right leg right now.
Cool.
Okay, I'm quick clotting his head.
I'll do his torso.
I'll click the. Yeah, I'll do his leg now.
Okay. Alright,
He's still bleeding in his chest. But I'll concentrate on it.
Roger. He's lost a lot of blood. One of his legs is still bad.
It is tourniqueted though, so it's not going to bleed for now.
Yep. Alright, he's got a normal heart rate.
I'm going to do a little scout.
He's non-responsive. I reckon he'll just need a bit of morphine.
Right.
We call the medic in, or
I am the medic, aren't I?
oh, you're the triage. The medic's
Oh.
one above you.
Yeah. Medic.
Medic. Medic.
Yeah, his
can you
right
please
leg's
deal
good now.
with Fireman, he's in intense pain. I'm gonna go deal with the patient over here.
Fireman, go ahead and kill yourself. No one likes you.
As a you
Hang on, I'll
okay?
cover fire.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm covering. Suppressing fire.
Thank you. I'm running across.
Oh, fire, fire.
On, have a heart rate. Heart rate. Does he have a weapon in his
Who the
hand?
fuck's throwing incendiary?
He's dead.